In this video we will be covering the different collectibles that can be found in Lies of P, and more specifically the areas such as the Rose Isabel entrance and the street culvert. From the Rosa Isabel street entrance Stargazer, continue on and follow the path around and to the left. Here we will come across a set of steps with a volunteer poster. Ignore these steps and you will find a window with a woman inside coughing. Speak to her to begin a side quest that involves wine. Here next to this window is a picture. From the Witch's Tower poster and the woman's window, proceed and drop down the ledge and head left, through a small arch. Continue on, ignoring the stairs. Here there will be a gate that will be quite lit up due to the fire behind it. Next to this gate is a section of boxes. Sitting on top of these boxes is our Crescent Moonstone. We can find the artist's doodle note by following the alleyway right of the fire gate. It'll be next to a trash can. The note itself relates to someone praising puppets over their human creators. There will be a book known as the Special Report Foreigner's Confession that can be found by heading over the small bridge next to the trap bin. Follow these rooms around until you reach a hole in the ground. Drop down to the floor below. The book can then be found on the bed. After being murdered by one of the locals in our search for a book of confessions, we can then find a Legion plug by following the rooms of this building back up to the floor above. Here there will be a safe that we can open. Our 14th normal weapon is the Dancer's Curved Sword Blade, which can be found by heading back outside through the second floor of the building. Here there will be a balcony with a set of ladders that we can use. Unfortunately though, these ladders will lead to a ton of puppets, each carrying either a firearm or an explosive. The Dancer's Curved Sword Blade can then be found inside the chest located next to the abandoned wagon.
What a beautiful puppet you are. I can hear your springs even if you try to hide them. Musicians have keen ears, you know.
After collecting the Dancer's Blade, you can then encounter the White Lady, who resides just down the stairs from the treasure box and the massacred puppets with the explosives. Simply interact with the musical statue to initiate the fight. The White Lady is not particularly difficult. She can easily be defeated by timing her sword attacks correctly and performing a few backstabs in order to deal critical damage to her. She will drop both the White Lady's Locket Recollection and the White Lady's Mask. Our next collectible is a book known as the Rose Estate Incident Left as a Mystery. From the fight against the White Lady, proceed on up the stairs with the open gate, not the ones we previously came down. We can then find the book next to the boxes to the left. The book itself tells the story of an incident that occurred within the Monad charity house. From the Rose Estate Incident book, Continue through the passage to the left. It will lead to a small park area with benches and our next dimensional butterfly. This particular butterfly will drop a Crescent Moonstone. We will now be continuing our journey from the Rosa Isabel Street culvert, our second stargazer of the area. Speak to Julian the gentleman nearby to begin a quest involving his wife's belongings. I'll be making a separate video on that one later. For now, proceed down the ladders and follow the pipe to the very end. Ignore any other alternative routes, then drop down to the floor below. There will be plenty of demonic puppets along the way. Continue to follow this pipe until you can finally exit. In this next area there will be a familiar elite, although now more tougher than its previous counterpart. Open the chest in this area to find the Quartz. From the Elite and Quartz treasure chest, you will now want to proceed up the ladders to a gate that will take us back outside once again, to where we encountered the White Lady. Now make your way back to the culvert Stargazer and Julian. Here we will see a locked gate with a blue collectible behind it. This is what we are targeting next. It is a Crescent Moonstone. To reach it, take the ladder down from where Julian and the Stargazer is located and make your way back to the pipes once again. Now instead of following these pipes to the very end, we now want to take the other alternative route inside these pipes instead. It will lead us back outside once again. Once outside, follow the path around and to the left. Here we will find the gate next to the Stargazer, and of course our Crescent Moonstone. Next is the Arch Heavyweight frame. With the new area now unlocked, we will now want to head through here and up the steps. Keep following these steps up until you see a sign for Gaspard. The Arch Heavyweight frame is hiding inside a safe in the back room. This is a defensive piece that is said to absorb physical damage. Near the arch heavyweight frame is the wedding ring for Julian and his wife's quest. Again, quests will be done in a separate video. However, in terms of this video and its collectibles, next up is the Darkmoon Moonstone. The Darkmoon Moonstone can be found near the flamethrower puppet. Just head down a small alleyway. It is actually located next to a gate that acts as a shortcut. Head past the large fire where the flamethrower puppet was first spotted. We will then come to a bridge. Underneath this bridge there is an abandoned wagon or cart. It is here where we can also find an advance crank. Proceed on from the wagon cart with the advance crank and we will stumble across the Mad Clown puppet. The Mad Clown is the mini-boss of the area and can deal quite a bit of damage using his fists, meaning that he is basically a boxer. However, as he is still a puppet, his arms do have good long reach and he enjoys moving around rather quickly. There is also a stargazer just past the Mad Clown. The Stellar Opera Stargazer to be more precise. So if you are getting tired of running back and forth, then activate it and you will have a quicker route to him. For defeating him, he will drop a quartz. For those interested, I will have a separate video up on this entire Mad Clown fight. Enter the Stellar Opera building now and make your way over to the second floor. There is a Darkmoon Moonstone over by the balcony, east of the doorway. From the Darkmoon Moonstone, proceed on up to the next floor above. Follow this path around and there will be a doorway in which we can head through. In this next room we can witness a chandelier swinging around. There is also a treasure chest on this balcony that contains a Belford disruption cartridge, which, as its name suggests, helps to enhance resistance to disruption, which will obviously come in great for this area. As you will no doubt be all too aware, the opera puppets enjoy casting the disruption status. We can find a technique amulet by heading up the stairs and to the left from the opera building entrance. This will lead to a corridor with large windows and more puppets to play with. Keep following this hallway until you come across a set of stairs that we can go down. Search for a darker hall with a damaged stone pillar. There will be a chest containing a technique amulet. This corridor is actually located underneath the swinging chandelier. The technique amulet itself is said to increase the technique ability by a total of 4. Our 15th normal weapon is the exploding pickaxe blade. From the technique amulet, continue down the rest of the hallway. It will lead to a room with a table and a set of hanging lights. Search the safe for the weapon. Next up is a Crescent Moonstone. Keep following the hallway and head up the next set of stairs. We can find the Crescent Moonstone by the statue bust. We can then find a Trinity Sanctum, which of course requires a Trinity key. Feel free to use one. However, if you have not got any, then we can acquire one a bit later. Just remember this location. First proceed to the room with the swinging chandelier. Now, before crossing the wooden beam and avoiding damage from this giant moving fire contraption, we will instead want to drop down to the ground below. We can now collect something a little different from the norm. It is regarded as a functional item and is known as the Incredible Vanigni collection. The Incredible Vanigni collection is used to further expand Pulcinella's shop. From the previous collectible, you will want to head across from this room and up the stairs opposite. There will be a loud noise coming from the floor above. You should go and investigate, as we need to be up here anyway. There is a note up here. The note's from an experiment. It is located in the room at the end of the hall. Our next cryptic vessel can also be found in this opera building. It is our second one. The answer and location to the first can be found in a separate video. These are generally puzzle solving collectibles. Again, just like with the first, I will be doing a separate video that solves this one. We can find a dimensional butterfly by taking the ladder down from the cryptic vessel room. And head back down to the ground floor. The butterfly can be found here. It will drop a technique crack. Just watch out for the two fire ram puppets. The gate in this area leads back outside and to the Stargazer entrance. We can acquire our 11th costume from defeating the King of Puppets boss. This costume is known as the Puppet Prince's formal dress. We are also awarded with the Recollection necklace, amply named Someone's Necklace. That was worn by the King of Puppets himself, Romeo. The fight against the King of Puppets is a two-phase fight, with the first being against the King and the second Romeo, who is essentially inside the body of the King of Puppets. The first phase is much easier out of the two phases, as the King is technically much slower than Romeo. It also attacks by using its long arms and can jump around, whereas Romeo is smaller but also faster, with a scythe as a weapon with the ability to be ignited with fire. His agility can catch quite a few off guard. Of course, if you do find yourself struggling, you can always just refer to the Spectre for additional help. Both the King and Romeo are weak to lightning and electricity. After all, they are puppets.
Record.
Now, if you manage to give the actress Adelina a red apple during her side quest, video done separately, we can now revisit her and collect our rewards, which are the red actress's locket and the Fascination record. If not, then you will likely miss out on those. This locket will also signify that Adelina probably killed herself due to losing her sister. This is a tale of family heartache. Having collected the Vanigni collectible from the Opera House earlier, we can now proceed and speak with Polendina, who will be selling our 16th normal weapon, the Tyrant Murderer's Dagger, for 2,000 ergo.
At the House of Vanigni, even priceless things have a price. Every item is a treasure of distinguished quality and superior. Master Vanigni carefully curated this collection box himself. With it, you have returned to us what was stolen. You have our gratitude. The House of Vanigni always keeps a few special items in the private reserve, sir. Only for our more discerning patrons, of course. At the House of Vanigni...
Whilst we are here, we can also purchase other new products and items, including altering material, balance cranks, technique cranks, even both the acid and indomitable grindstones, which can either enhance guard performance or imbue weapons with acid. When you return back to Hotel Krat after defeating the Puppet King, you may notice that our friend over at the counter reception has disappeared, Polendina. There will be a note left behind, a note left at the counter. This note will be asking us to meet over at the Hotel Garden in Elysian Boulevard. Now, the actual reason for Polendina disappearing is because of a certain side quest, one involving Julian the gentleman over in Rosa Isabel Street. This next bit will only take place if you lie to Julian about the message from his puppet wife. Video done separately.
Welcome, good sir. At last we speak frankly instead of with professional reserve. I have something to confess. Something involving your unique perspective. I am a puppet whose ego has awoken. I don't know exactly why, and we need not dwell on the details. Instead, I wish to dwell on the welfare of Lady Antonia. I adore Lady Antonia. It is a presumptuous feeling for a puppet to have, to be sure. I have no intention of putting myself forward, of course. However, I cannot watch her die. It's too painful. Thus, I need your unique perspective. You exist somewhere between human and puppet. Can a puppet and a human fall in love? Have you ever met a puppet who loves a human?
In case you did not complete that quest properly or did not know about it, then this is what will occur after. It involves Polendina and the wedding ring that Julian gave us. It basically helps pave the way to our truth or lie playthrough. As I'm currently doing a lie playthrough, which is what essentially got me the wedding ring in the first place, we will keep up our little charade.
It exists indeed. An unbelievable love, to be sure, with a wedding ring as its symbol. I fear even trying to pursue such a splendid happiness. I have no intention of telling her, of course. It wouldn't be proper to burden someone so frail. If I may be frank, This is better than I dared hope. Even if you are telling me a sweet lie, I shall savor it. Thank you. It was wise to confide in you. Thank you for granting me that wisdom.
Return back to the Opera House stage and proceed to the Charity Market path. Here Geppetto will be standing. At first this will be a scene and our pulse cells will be increased.
That one puppet could control.
From there keep following the path and down a set of stairs towards an old water feature. Continue descending. There will eventually be a boarded up green door with a lone female puppet sitting outside of it. The Crescent Moonstone is located here. Our 17th normal weapon is the Clock Sword Blade, which we can find by, once again, descending the area. It will lead to an abandoned market area. It is in this market area where we can find a ladder heading up. Use it and climb up. Here on the balcony is a treasure chest containing the blade.